If you didn't know, now you know. Presented by Decatur Earthmover Credit Union is taking it to the fields, courts, and stadiums for the month of August. Every Friday throughout the month, join us in hearing firsthand from these iconic local legends.
All right, let's get right into it. Tell me who you are, where you come from, and what you like about it.
My name is Terise Bryson. I'm the head coach at MacArthur Basketball.
Right on. Where did you go to high school?
Decatur.
Decatur. And what sports did you play?
Basketball.
Just basketball?
Just basketball.
How cool. What was your position?
Guard.
Guard. I wish that I knew a little more.
Shooting guard.
Shooting guard, okay. And what about college?
Shooting guard.
Yeah. And where'd you go?
Illinois State.
Oh, nice. So what's something that they don't tell you about college sports versus high school that you wish that you knew going into it?
It's like a job.
Oh.
When you get to college, everything's serious. You can't come late. You gotta take everything serious. High school, some kids, I might come, I might not come. College, you can't do that.
So what was the biggest adjustment from like transitioning from high school sports to college athletics?
The biggest adjustment is strength.
Oh.
College guys are a lot stronger than high school guys, a lot smarter, basketball IQ. High school guys, you can just play off athletics and talent, shooting. College, it's guys your size, stronger than you, smarter than you, just as good as you. So the level of competition.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting. It's a good point that you make. Now, I heard a rumor that you used to tour with the Harlem Globetrotters. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I played on a team where you play all the colleges before the season started. Cedric Sabalas was on that team. Todd Day was on that team. So we played Connecticut. We played UNLV. It wasn't no fun about that. We actually was playing.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't on the team where they throw the ball on your head or anything. We actually was playing games against them teams.
Interesting, because I've always just associated like Harlem Globetrotters with like the tricks, but you're like playing the sport. You're actually playing the games and trying to win.
Two separate teams. A team that you actually play, and you got a team that you bounce the ball off your head and stuff. Yeah.
So it's completely two separate things. That's really cool and very interesting. I didn't know that. Now, you're head coach. What led you to coaching? What kind of called you towards that?
Well, the athletic director, pretty good friends, and he told me to try it out. I'm kind of a shy guy, but once you get to coaching, you don't really think of it. Just like basketball, once you start, you don't look in the crowd or anything. So, I'm all right now.
Now, when you were assistant coach, when you transitioned to head coach, what was the difference between the two dynamics in those two positions?
More work.
Yeah.
Instead of you in charge of 15 kids, you in charge of 45 kids. Freshman, sophomore, and varsity. So more kids. Media. You got to organize everything from the freshman, sophomore, varsity. So instead of just doing my JV team, I'm in charge of all three programs.
A lot more goes into it than just
yes.
yelling from the sidelines.
Yes.
Now, what is something that you constantly tell your players?
Defense. They can't score if you come down and play some defense. I'm a defensive guy. You play some defense, I think defense wins championships to me.
Now, what advice do you have for athletes looking to either go pro or take the next step up? Whether they're going to college, whether they want to start coaching, or whether they want to go completely pro?
You gotta take it serious. You can't. I'm almost 2 hours in the gym, 2 hours with my girlfriend. You gotta be in the gym all the time. If I tell a kid now, hey, don't have a girlfriend until you get your career started. Right now, let me just take it serious.
So as someone who didn't get drafted but did play professionally, what advice would you have to give to athletes whose original goal doesn't pan out?
Go as far as you can go. Get your degree. So when basketball over with, you got something to lean back on. Just keep trying. If you don't make it to the league, there's other places you can go. Europe, the NBDL. I mean, it's a lot of other places. So NBA, a lot of people don't go to the NBA. So, I mean, get your degree and have something to fall back on.
You mentioned the importance of getting a degree and making sure that you have a good backup plan. So when you're developing that backup plan, apart from obviously the education part, what's some more advice that you could give to someone who needs a backup plan when they're developing it?
I mean, I just tell them, you gotta study. Sometimes, when you're in college, you have study sessions, you have basketball sessions. Just take both of them serious, and you always have something to back. You have a backup plan. Farther you go in school, farther you go in basketball, it's always jobs around here, especially somebody who played professional ball and got your degree. There's opportunities out there.
Now, what's something that you learned in your first year as head coach at MacArthur with the boys basketball team?
Adjusting to attitudes.
Oh.
You got 15 kids on your team, 15 different attitudes. And these varsity guys, you ain't dealing with freshmen and sophomores anymore. You just dealing with young men. So, you got to adjust to their attitudes. Some kids come in with attitude, some kids come in happy. So now I'm going to be on the side with this kid with the attitude and have attitude, or I'm going to be on the happy moment.
Do you look at coaching differently than when you were being coached?
Yes. I look at it differently because now I see the time coaches put in. Back then I just thought, okay, we doing all the work, the coaches not doing. Coaches, it's just not during the season, off season, that's when you do all the work. So that's what I learned. When I was in high school, I thought my coach didn't do anything. I thought we made my coach, but no, it's different.
If you could change anything about your college career, what would it be?
I would have stayed at school a lot more.
Yeah?
I came home a lot. Yeah, I would have enjoyed school a lot. The kids who go off to school, stay at school, have fun at school, instead of coming back to Decatur and having fun. I would have stayed at school a lot more.
Get the full college experience.
Yes.
Awesome, yeah. What's the most rewarding part of coaching, and what is the most frustrating part about coaching?
The rewarding part? Getting the kids to buy in with what you want them to do, and the kids, seeing the kids going off to school, you helping kids get to college, helping them develop their game. The stressful part, parents.
Really?
Yeah. We got parents getting mad about this, parents getting mad about that, and parents not in practice to see what's going on in practice. Why my kid ain't playing, you haven't been in practice to see why your kid ain't playing.
That's a really good point. I know that there's always going to be those parents out there, and the coach has to really deal with that head on. You recently won Macon County Boys Basketball Coach of the Year. That's really cool. What was your response to that?
I had a really good team.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had a really good team this year. Last year I had a bunch of seniors that bought into what I wanted them to do. They played hard. The COVID season, we only had 11 games. 12 games, so guys worked their tail off, man. So this year, hopefully, if we get a full season, man. We got two guys who was first team all conference, and then we got a guy coming from Indiana. So hopefully, we should be just as good as we was last year.
Right on. Now, to wrap it up, you took over for Ron Ingram, right? How big of an impact did he play in your life and your coaching career? And what is your biggest takeaway from your relationship with him?
He played a big part. It was just more than coaching with him. A guy I can talk to about anything. He helped me out a lot on the court, off the court. I can call him any time of the night. Now I still call him, ask him questions, how to do this, how you do this, how you handle this situation. It was just more than coaching with me and Coach Ingram. It's like big brother. So that guy, I always stay in touch with Coach Ingram.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today and telling us your story.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for checking out this episode of If You Didn't Know, Now You Know, presented by Decatur Earthmover Credit Union Athlete Edition. Want more? Audio podcast, videos, and questionnaire interviews are all available at NowDecatur.com.